Hey everyone, how's it going? Welcome to a brand new series here on this channel. Welcome to Just United, where we talk about Just United, and it's as simple as that. Some of you guys will remember that over my past FIFA career modes with Manchester United, sometimes I haven't even spoken about the gameplay and what's happened. I've just talked about what was happening at United at that time. And it was mainly when David Moyes was in charge, just sharing my thoughts and opinions with you guys. And it was good getting the feedback as well in the comment section below. And hopefully we can do that again with this series, talking about United today and how they're currently getting on under Louis van Gaal. We are reaching the end of the season. We've only got a couple of months to go. I think there's only 12 games or so left. And United start that sprint to the finishing line this weekend on Saturday at 3 o'clock at Old Trafford against Sunderland. And just quickly, the gameplay that you can see here is taken from FIFA 15. It's a simulation of Manchester United against Sunderland, the exact same fixture that's going to be taking place this Saturday in the Premier League. So we're going to have FIFA 15 predict the score, the outcome of the game this weekend. Now, before I get into that, I want to just discuss our previous fixture, which was against Swansea, where we lost 2-1 at the Liberty Stadium. My quick analysis of that game was that we didn't deserve to lose it. We deserved a little bit from that game, whether it be a draw or even the 3 points. You know, if you put the result aside, our performance can certainly go down as one of the better performances of the season. There were signs of quick tempo, there were signs of great attacking play from Manchester United, but it was Van Gaal's arrogance, it was his philosophy, his tinkering and his cautious football that really lets down against Swansea. What annoyed me about that game going into the second half, when both teams were on level terms, was the fact that Van Gaal had set his team out to keep pumping the ball forwards with long balls to Fellaini. That was our target man in this game for some reason, trying to go all central, play the ball more directly. You know what I miss? Manchester United having wingers. We need to be getting the balls into the box for the likes of Van Persie, Rooney, who seems to be playing up front nowadays, which is brilliant to see, by the way, and also Falcao whenever he is playing, because he's made a career of being in the right place at the right time. He is a threat in the air whenever a ball is delivered into the box. The team needs to be taking more risks. That's where we succeeded in the past when under Sir Alex Ferguson. But at the moment, we've got players like Di Maria, who is that type of player to really get in the face of the opposition. He's just sitting back, taking it easy, trying to retain possession, and that's just wrong. That second goal anyway for Swansea, which came from Shelvey, they were very fortunate that it did take a deflection. Otherwise, I think maybe De Gea would have put that over for a corner kick. But you know, whenever you're playing against Swansea City, Shelvey is one of the players that you need to be keeping an eye on. And if you go back and look at the replay of that goal, you'll notice that Blin's around there as well as our two centre-halves, and they just were sitting back. They were inviting Shelvey in, and we all know Shelvey has tremendous power behind his shot. He can absolutely smash them, and that's what I mean about teams taking risks. Swansea did that, and it worked for them. They had probably 1 or 2 shots in that second half because we were controlling it so much, but it was just that one moment that they needed, that one risk that they took, that won them the game. Now, if we continue to perform that way, then I just don't know whether I can see United getting Champions League for next season, because look at the games we've got coming up very soon. We've got to be playing Arsenal again. That's in the FA Cup. We've got to play them in the Premier League as well a bit later on in the season. We've got Liverpool, we've got Tottenham, we've got Chelsea, and also City. And if we continue to perform that way, then we're going to be dropping out of the top 4, and we won't have Champions League for next season. Now, after that game against Swansea, I did see on Twitter there are a few people hashtagging Van Gaal out. We need to get rid of him. He's worse than Moyes. Can't believe what's happening to United. I couldn't believe what I was reading. I think it's silly to be coming to conclusions like that at the moment. Van Gaal out is absolutely ridiculous, and I'm totally with Gary Neville, who was talking to, I think it was TalkSport or the Daily Mail earlier this week, where he said that even if United don't make Champions League for next season, then Van Gaal shouldn't be sacked. I totally agree with him. Although I may not agree with some of the things Van Gaal does, like constantly sitting on the bench and no communication with Ryan Giggs whatsoever, or just simply tinkering with the squad when the match is happening. I think it would just be silly to get rid of Van Gaal, even if we don't make the Champions League, because, you know, he's got a plan. He's trying to put it into effect here, and I think getting rid of Van Gaal, we would have to go through transition again, bringing in a new manager with a new philosophy and so on. It's never ending. So I think having Van Gaal stay at the club for another year, even if we don't make Champions League, I think that would be very wise. But I think, wasn't it the Glazers or Woodward that came out at the start of the season saying that if Van Gaal doesn't make Champions League for next season, then serious questions will be asked and potentially he will be sacked. I just hope that we can turn things around. I mean, we've got 12 or so games remaining, and they're all pretty massive games as well when you look at it. I just hope, and I think Van Gaal can. I think we can eventually get there. So the game this Saturday at 3 o'clock against Sunderland, it's going to be another nail biter. I think I can certainly see that happening, because Sunderland over the past couple of seasons, whenever they've come to Old Trafford, they always seem to get a decent result, the result that they were looking for. I mean, you look at last year with the same fixture, Ryan Giggs was in charge as the caretaker manager. We lost 1-0, Sebastian Larsson with that winner. They also knocked us out of the Capital One Cup in the semi-finals. So the journey to Old Trafford for Sunderland has been pretty kind as of late, so hopefully we can put an end to that. I'd like to see Van Gaal going for maybe the classic 4-4-2 and maybe have one of the strikers drop in deep, so we could have Rooney drop back in that central attacking mid-roll. And you know what, I'd like to see James Wilson start front with Rooney, because Wilson, wow, he never stops running. He is full of energy, and I think that's what we need at the moment in front of goal, because Van Persie, who is, I think he's going to be out of the game for Sunderland, so he's completely out of it. But Falcao, you know, underperforming, a bit slow on the ball as well this season. So I think starting James Wilson, I think that would be a wise move. In midfield, Herrera, I'd like to see with Blind. Maybe as our wingers, we could have Ashley Young in there, who did brilliant against Swansea after coming on off the bench. And on the right, maybe go for Valencia or Di Maria. I'm not sure. Di Maria hasn't really been convincing lately. I think maybe I would drop him in the game against Sunderland and start Valencia, which would allow Raphael to come in and play it right back. I believe he was in an under-21 game not so long ago, and I think he played pretty decent. So, I mean, where's he been for the last couple of weeks? He just seemed to disappear. There was no mention of an injury or anything like that. So if he is fully fit, I would definitely start him, as we know he is a physical player, and we could use him in that right back position, especially against a team like Sunderland, who like to exploit the flanks and try and get in between our full backs, and I think Raphael would say no to that. My two centre-halves would be Smalling and Phil Jones, and finally at left back I'd like to see Marcos Rojo, and I think it goes without saying who should be in goal for this game. Of course it's going to be De Gea. So yeah, I love to see that happen. I'd love to see Van Gaal actually go for a classic 4-4-2 for Manchester United with a high tempo and some great attacking movement. I think we can rise to the challenge of Sunderland, definitely. It's a must-win game as well. We need to win it to stay in the battle for the top 3, top 4. So that's going to be it then, guys, for my first ever episode of Just United. I hope you've all enjoyed, and I want to hear back from you guys in the comments below. Do you think Van Gaal should be sacked at the end of the season if he doesn't make Champions League? Or should he stay on for another year? And who would you pick for your starting 11 if you was in Van Gaal's boots for the game against Sunderland this weekend? Be sure to let me know in the comments section below. Also, if you didn't know already, I am on Twitter and Facebook. The links can be found in the description below, or if you want to go ahead and enter it all manually, then that's up to you. And I was thinking for future episodes I can get a few guests on here, a few of you guys, to talk about Just United. That's going to be it from me then for this episode, guys. Hope you've all enjoyed, and I'll see you all very soon for the next one. Thanks for watching.